Hey folks, Klint Macro here, Vice President of FOAC Institute. I just wanted to take a few moments to talk to you guys about a stocking stuffer that I think is the best thing to spend money on for anyone, for yourself or anyone in your family that is wanting to make themselves be better well regulated in the true sense of what that means with a firearm, and that's the TruBreak. The TruBreak by Next Level Training is a fantastic training aid. I see lots of different training aids and I use lots of different ones. The CERT pistol that shoots lasers is a fantastic tool. The Mantis X, which you can sync up to your cell phone, gives you a great deal of training opportunity. However, this one is only 50 bucks and those other ones are multiple hundreds of dollars. So the TruBreak, what it does is it allows you to train in isolation your trigger press. So as the trigger goes to the rear, it completely isolates the trigger, and what it does is it mimics the angular deviation of the gun as you press the trigger. To press the trigger rearward without moving it is almost impossible with a trigger that's on a hinge like this. With a 1911, it's a little more possible because the trigger is actually going into the frame. However, that's still a pretty tall lift. And here's the secret to shooting. Point the gun at what you're looking at and then don't move the gun when you press the trigger. And that angular deviation as we press the trigger is what causes the gun to slightly move as we fire the shot. So with this being isolated, it gives me the opportunity to practice pressing the trigger to the rear, and so long as it continues to reset, it's a good trigger press. Right there, I actually shanked it a little bit. So now I got to press this button in the bottom, and that resets my trigger and allows me to start to train again. And what this really does is it helps me to learn what right feels like. So if I can start to pick this thing up and just start racking on the trigger here, I can start to feel what correct feels like. And that's ultimately what we want to be able to do, because our mind's most likely going to be processing a whole lot of other things if we're defending ourselves with a firearm than where my finger is touching the trigger and how I'm pressing it. So we want to build those neural pathways to have really, really good, as near perfect trigger presses as possible. And this tool gives us that opportunity. There's 3 different settings on this, these little tongues that can be replaced. There's a 350, which is a wider margin for error, a great way to start, and then work your way down to, I got the 150 on this right now, which is supposed to be like master level trigger press, whatever that means. So check this out. I think this is the best stocking stuffer or present that you can give someone that wants to train to be a better, well-regulated shooter and a family first responder with a firearm. So until next time, we'll see you on the range.